Hello everyone, welcome to hands-on ICD-10 coding tutorial, session 19, ICD-10-CM 2020 update. First, an overview of this session. As you all know, we are currently using ICD-10-CM 2019 edition. Starting on October 1st, 2019, we have to use the new edition of ICD-10-CM code, that's the 2020 edition. So I will give you a summary of the code set update for 2020. Also, I will talk about the types and examples of the 2020 update. Finally, I will show you a simple trick to find out whether your software is updated to the 2020 version. First, the summary of the 2020 ICD-10-CM update. So for the billable codes, in the 2019 version, we have 72,004 codes. But now in the 2020, we have around 252 more codes. So for those billable codes, some codes, we don't need the seventh character. So there's around 22,000 of them. So for this type of code, without seventh character, we have around 148 more codes. And for the codes which needs the seventh character, the code is increased from 50,084 to 50,188. So we have around 104 more codes. So the total number of codes is also increased by around 321. So we have around 300 more codes. So the total number of codes includes the billable codes and also the truncated codes. For example, the category codes, the 3-digit category codes. For the job table, we have around 3 more entries. And then for the neoplasm, we have same number of codes. And also for the index for the disease, we have around 189 more entries. For the external cause index, we have around 67 more entries. So that's the overview, the summary of the 2020 update. So next I will talk about the types and examples of the 2020 code set update. So there are 4 types of update. One is adding a new code, and then you delete the old code. And also, you will update the coding notes or the instructional notations. So you change that for the code. And finally, you can have a new code description. So I will give you one example for each type. First, add new code. So for example, the R11.15, that's a new code, which means the code does not exist in the 2019 version, but it's the new code for the 2020 edition. I will show you the so here on the first window, that's the older version, 2019 edition of the ICD-10-CM code. This here is the 2020 edition. So let's search for that code. R11.115. So the code is not there in the 2019 edition. But here, if you search for R11.1, that's the older code. So here you see there's no R11.15. But in the new edition, if you search the same code, 11.15, so you go to the booklet. So here, under R11.1 vomiting, there's a new code here, R11.15, which is added in 2020 edition. So here, you don't have R11.15. That's new code. So some codes are deleted. For example, 81.41, 42.43, and .49. Those codes are removed. So let's see. So in the older edition, so let's see, search the code H81.41. So for the H81.4 vertical of central origin, so we have 4 codes. So depend on which year. So but all those 4 codes are deleted in the 2020 edition. Let's see how this in the new edition of the code 2020. So let's search for H81.4. So this is new edition of code. See here, H81.4 itself is a billable code. It doesn't have any children, so all the child code are deleted from the this H81.4. So next, I will show examples for those codes. The coding notes are updated. So the first example is I21.A1 myocardial infarction type 2. So inside here, notice that there's code also here. But for the newer code in the 2020 edition, let's search for the same code here. Here you notice that here now is code first, before it's the code also. So if you look this, it really makes sense because this is the underlying cause. So usually if you code the underlying cause, you have to put at the first primary code. So you have to code first. It's not a code also. So that was a mistake in the 2019 edition. So the next example is the this code here. S02.1. Here when we see the coding notes, there's a excludes 1 notation here. But in a new version here, let's list that here. This only excludes 2. So before it has excludes 1 and excludes 2. And also you notice the excludes 2, there's more entries for the 2020 edition. One more example for the coding notes update. Say like the here P67.67.0. For this code here, heart stroke and sunstroke, I think one of the inclusion term is deleted. Let's see the in the newer edition. So there's no inclusion term that listed in the 2019 version here. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4 entries for the inclusion term, but here it doesn't have that anymore. So the final type of update is straightforward. It's just you have a new code description. So I will give you this example here. Let's go back the older version here. Let's search for this code I70.238. So this here has the right leg here, and then also off lower right leg. this is kind of redundant. So let's see in the newer edition here, 2020 edition. Here, as you can see, the right lower leg here, right is deleted. See again here. So that's the code with the new code description. So finally, how can you tell whether your vendor has updated to 2020 edition? This is especially important if you are using software for coding. So as we know, we just need to find a new code and search for the new code. If the new code is there, then that means you have 20 edition of the ICD-10-CM. Say for example here, S02.83. So that's a new code here. So let's search for the in the old code set. So I forget the so S0283. So this is not there. That means this is an older version. But in the new version, if you type S02.83, so this is a new code, a complete new code, added in 2020 edition. So finally, I just want to let you know that there's a free ICD-10-CM online book 2020 edition available now at medicalcodecenter.com. So that's totally free. You guys are free to use it. But if you want to get the search functionality or other productive tool, then you have to sign on as you have to register an account. Thank you very much for watching this video.